So, good evening, students. Welcome to this. We are just coming to the end of 2022, and I think things are improving. Now we don't know how this new wave is going to come about, but I understand all of us have already taken all our vaccine shots. So, to that extent, we are secured, but do take prevention. Prevention is the best measure. Now, so today's e-chocolate for early login has to go to Jash. Then Jash, because he logged in quite early. Then we have good evening to Pritika, Jyoti, Dhyanesh, Lakshmi, Shankaran, Kasif, uh, Alok, Bharti, Mohammad Abid. Okay, so so let us start now because today we have the last day of this lecture, this chapter. So any queries you have, you can always post those queries here itself. Okay, just give me a second. Just a second. Just a second. I'll just take a second. Okay. So we are starting. So the point I was making was put your all queries for chapter 2 here itself today. Okay. So standards then. So we are here on chapter 2, financial and accounting system. We're basically on this part, business process module and their integration with financial accounting system. Okay. So we were here. Now, see, this discussion to me personally is a very value added discussion because this allows you to create a practice opportunity once you become chartered accountants. And believe me, the way business are globalizing, technology is enabling networking technology. We have 5G rollout in our country. So as more technology gets into our life, the speed of technology is increasing, businesses are expanding. We already are the fifth largest economy by in GDP terms across the world, and we are growing phenomenally fast. So to that extent, a lot of system related issues are coming. Companies are going for integration. So this creates a lot of opportunity. So my personal preference is that you keep a tag of these words. Please understand. See, we have already talked about at a cost of repetition. I am saying it again. Please put yourself into reading a financial daily on a daily basis. एक फाइनेंशियल अखबार रोज हमको पढ़ना ही है. First, second, start reading audited balance sheets of listed companies. Now on today, the way technology is, all listed companies, NSE, BSE, the companies have to upload their balance sheets on website of NSE, BSE, and they're publicly available. So I'll request you to start reading those listed companies' balance sheet now, and also start reading a financial daily on a daily basis. And keep what you have to read. You have to only read those things that are part of your syllabus. So you have to tag those words which are put in this balance sheet and in financial newspapers. Believe me, your understanding, your application side is going to improve phenomenally. So just keep a tag of this because we are just starting. So I have this query. Yeah. So Jyoti, flowchart comes in exam. Yeah, it does comes in exam. The only thing is probably it is not part of the compulsory question, but it is coming in exam. Then, okay, internal customer. Good, Dhyanesh. Very good question. I'll explain that. Uh, okay. So we'll do it in, or let me explain here itself. See, please understand. Okay, keep it pending, Dhyanesh. It is part of the discussion. We have got this discussion on integration of various modules. So keep your question there. I'll surely answer that. Okay. So let us go ahead. Now, what you are looking at on your screen is uh, business process modules of an ERP system. So we did talk about the definitions. Today we are going to talk in much detail. We already had a somewhat live presentation on how probably an Excel would be working. Okay, Alok, that's a scheduled issue. Nothing from my side. Okay. Now, so these are the modules we talked about: financial accounting, controlling, sales distribution, human resource, production planning, materials management, quality, plant maintenance, project system, supply chain, and CRM. Please understand, you could always, the way ERP systems are created today, generally, most of the ERP systems are going to have these modules. Beyond that, if you go a step ahead, then you have an option of getting special modules configured as per your business need. But generally, these are the most used modules which are available in an ERP system. And because you can add to this, you can create add-ons, you can create separate modules. So today, the way ERP systems are planned, you call them as plugin modules. Plugin means additional could be added. I'll be giving examples to you how those plugin modules are going to work in an ERP system. So let us go ahead. Major discussion that we are going to have today will be on this part, business process module, how ERP works, how the integration is going to happen between systems as we go ahead. Now, so first part is core definition. Please understand, I'll be asking many questions based on this discussion. We have from chapter 1, the concept of integration, business process automation, linking of purchase to store system. So all these have been good examples that you can all use for your ERP systems. Okay. So first is financial accounting module. What it does. So we'll try to gain as much understanding as we can. Tracking of flow financial data across organization is in a controlled manner and integrating all information for strategic decision making. So what is the core purpose of financial accounting module? Keep a track of all financial data across organization to enable decision making. Now, being chartered accountants, being part of the financial accounting process, this module has been brought in the priority list 1. So what this module is basically doing. So please understand what financial accounting module is doing. It is capturing information that comes from all the other modules and presents that information basically for decision making purpose. Let us read further. It is used for creation of organizational structure, company definition, company codes, business area, functional area, credit control, assignment of company code to credit control. Now, there are few words which are coming. So just for the sake of it, just keep an understanding of it. Creation of organizational structure. So what you're basically doing, you are creating what you call as, say, authorization level, user rights, approval rights, who is going to be the creator of transaction, who is going to be authorizer of transaction, approver of transaction, how audit process is going to run through. So all these aspects are going to be defined here. Then company codes. Company codes means you could have designated divisions in a same module. You could have more than one company working. So each company is going to have a designated code that can be linked to a specified definition based on the code you give. Please understand this topic itself, coding. We did try to put a lot of discussion on this when we talked on voucher numbers. I told you that what you do next day when those of you are going and who are under articleship, when you go for your audit next day, just see the nature of codes which are being used for creating vouchers, creating ledgers. Your understanding of the nature of code itself is going to enhance the quality of audit that you are doing. So it is a good thing to know and understand. Then financial accounting, global setting. Now what this exactly means. Please understand, financial accounting global settings has lot to do with, say, the way your accounting years are being run. Like in India, we have April to March accounting year. Across the world, they have calendar accounting year. Developed countries, Europe, America, they follow calendar accounting year. So these definitions are important. So this becomes very important. I'm just giving this for sake of example. Like many Indian banks, State Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, Punjab National Bank, private bank, HDFC, ICICI Bank, they do have overseas bank branches. Now, when banks have overseas bank branches, suppose they are located, just for example's sake, Bank of Baroda has a branch in London. So Bank of Baroda's London branch is going to be regulated by local laws there. The local law, say in England, is calendar year accounting. So that branch, when it presents its financial statement to authorities in London, England, they have to make as per the calendar year. But because it is branch of Bank of Baroda, the head office of the bank is in India. So the branch balance sheets have to be consolidated in India accounts. So for consolidation purpose, they will have to go for April, March accounting year. So there they are following January, December accounting year. So in system setting, you have to create settings like this. ERP system allow this, that within the same entity, you could have two very different accounting years defined, so that when you generate balance sheet P&L for India purpose, the branch at Bank of Baroda, it gives output that is from April till March. So these settings are very, very important. Posting periods, the expenditure, defining document types. Document types, we've already had a good and a detailed discussion, but this is very important. I'll come to this document type again after this. Posting keys. Posting keys means how the transaction is going to be posted. Just I'm bringing an example to you. In vouching, we talked about this memorandum accounting. Now, what happens in ERP systems? They have a concept of park and post. What exactly is park and what exactly is post? See, park means the transaction has been captured in system. The posting is not done. Posting means the accounting effect has not been generated. Just listen to this carefully. There's an important question coming after this. So you have a concept of park and you have a concept of post. Park means transaction has been captured into system, but the accounting effect has not been generated. Say, for example, on 31st March, 4 p.m., the entity receives goods. Our vendor has supplied goods. So 31st March, we have received. So what has happened? The stores manager has captured the transaction in system. Now, the stores manager has captured means what document stores manager would have created? So he or she creates a stores receipt, material receipt note or a goods receipt note. So it's an accounting voucher. We talked about the type of voucher. Sorry, it's not an accounting voucher. It's an inventory voucher. Goods receipt note or material receipt note. Now, 31st March, your year end has closed. You have not passed the purchase entry. Why? Because the transaction is pending authorization. There are a lot of quality checks to be done on the stores item, but the entry is pending. Your liability has been created. So this transaction as on 31st March remains as a park transaction. When purchase manager is going to authorize or stores manager is going to authorize, then it is going to generate the accounting effect. So this is how you post transaction, park and post. Now the question to you, suppose you're auditor of a company using an ERP system and you are going for the statutory audit of that entity using an ERP accounting system. As on 31st March, what amount of transaction can appear as park value? Repeating the question. You are auditor of a company using an ERP system. You are doing statutory audit of that company. As on 31st March, what value of transaction can appear as a park amount transaction in the books on 31st March? You can take your options. You can say it can be equal to sales value, purchase value, gross profit, net profit, any value you want to take this and give answer to this question. What has to be park value transaction as on the end of the year for which financial data is being generated? Very important. So posting keys, park and post. So how it goes ahead. And this is very, very important. Please understand. We did this case on valuation of inventory. I told you, see, there are many examples that I'm going to take, which we are going to virtually use in all the 5 chapters. Okay. So as we use those examples in all those 5 chapters, Those examples I personally call as something called as storyboard examples. So storyboard means which you can use at multiple location. Okay. So the question to you is, as on 31st March, what value of transaction will appear as parked value? Then I allow you to answer, and then I'll go up. Number ranges for document. Now this is phenomenal. Please understand. I am giving you with a very live example. Okay. Uh, so I understand you have answered the first question. Now second question. It relates to you as articles only. Okay. Me as member of the institute. I did my articleship 25 years back. So the CA firm where I did my articleship, my boss had a 4-digit membership number, 4-digit. And I had a phenomenal articleship. I credit everything in my life to whatever I do in profession is courtesy my articleship. So my boss, he passed at a very ripe age of 95, 3 years back. My membership number is 5-digit. By the time you become members, your membership will be 6-digit. Okay. Present the new members who are clearing exam, they are getting a 6-digit membership number. Now, these are facts I have told you. Now, the next one that I want to tell me is, how many chartered accountants are there in India, CA, qualified, and how many CA students are there in India? Okay, just put the figure and then we'll link this to number of ranges. Let us go to the question you have answered previously. So purchase value, cost equal to net profit, adjustment can be considered park value, cost NRV, whichever is lower, total sales value, great. Now, so I intentionally gave the options which were incorrect. As on 31st March, an entity that is using an ERP system, the park value of transaction has to be 0. Because if any amount appears as park value transaction, that means that is pending accounting. The accounting effect is not generated. Just take the example I shared with you. On 31st March, 4 p.m., vendor has supplied goods. So you have received stock. To that extent, the purchase is triggered. The payment is due to that vendor. Very, very important. So park value transaction have to be 0. That concept has to get into us. That is the relevance of how you are posting in system. Just taking one more example on posting so that the idea is clear to you. We talked about in accounting standard 2, valuation of inventory. I asked you this question. Can GST be part of valuation of my finished goods? So we all learned that if I am not getting ITC, the input tax credit, then whatever GST I pay on raw material will form part of my valuation of finished goods. But this is understanding. My understanding of accounting standard needs to be configured in system. So that is how configuration. So when you're doing a purchase configuration, you have to see while entry of purchase are being made, the value of goods without GST, then GST component, CGST, SGST component, IGST component, they have to be separately taken, and then logic has to be built into system whether I'm eligible to take credit on finished goods. If not eligible, then this all costs, CGST, SGST, IGST become part of my valuation process. Just making it more complicated for understanding purpose. You could be an entity which may be manufacturing 2 types of product. One product on which you can take input tax credit and another product on which you cannot take input tax credit. So how you are going to match those? So that you have to configure. Understanding is good, but it has to be configured in system. That is important. Okay. Yes. Now to the number ranges and the next question. Yes. So Kojima has said reasonably correctly. 3.5 lakh CAs and 7 lakh students. Okay. So if I total the two, it is 10 lakh plus. So members, my understanding is same, roughly 4 lakh, nearing 4 lakh members and around 7.5 lakh CA students. So it makes 11.5 lakhs. Now just understand, suppose tomorrow all students become members. So 11 lakh is 7 digit. The present membership number being given to members is 6 digit. That is the line that you are reading number ranges for document. Now making it more practical for you. My boss, he had to add 2 zeros. So he will write 001234. Because my membership number is 5 digit, I have to write 012345. Present members, they are getting 6 digit membership numbers 123456. My understanding is that we must reconfigure ourselves to create a 7 digit membership number so that by the time you all become chartered accountants, the issue doesn't come. So you understand, making 6 digit membership number and 7 digit number membership number in system is not an easy task. Saying is easy, doing is really tough. It requires a lot of changes to be made in system. So that is why number ranges for document from where to where. Okay, Vedika. So why it has to be zero? So Vedika, please understand the concept. So this is important because we are talking of ERP system. So let me repeat. It's a good thing to learn. See, in ERPs, what happens? This is a concept of park of transaction and posting of transaction. Park of transaction means the data value data set has been captured in system. Its accounting impact is yet to be created. When the accounting impact will be created? When the authorized person approves the park document, park transaction. So when I say parking means the transaction is captured, but accounting impact is not generated. Now, the question was that on 31st March, what can be the park value transaction in system? So the best answer is zero. Why zero? Because understand the example I gave you. On 31st March, you have received goods, which is appearing in park transaction. That means to that extent, your purchase is shown at a lesser value. To that extent, your closing stock is also shown at a lesser value. Probably it may not impact your gross profit, but accountingly it is not correct. So this amount that appears as goods GRN, MRN, and as on 31st March in par has to be converted into a post. So you have to create a adjustment purchase entry so that as on 31st March, the books appear correct and park value transaction are zero. In fact, just because Vedika has asked, let me update more on this. Entities using ERP system and which have configured park and post as a transaction, statutory auditors, one of the first thing they do, you know what they do? They go to the entity and ask for the list of park value transaction as on 31st March. All ERP system generate that report that tells these adjustment, these entries are yet to be created in books. So very, very, very important. Okay, so Priyanka has updated 8 lakh CA student. Bharat is having a good guess. Great. So posting keys. So understand, see, we are going to put a lot of effort in understanding this because believe me, the topic that you are all reading, you are going to use during your articleship as as a CA inter student. You are going to use this during your articleship as a CA final student, and you are going to use this as a CA once you get into the profession, be it service or be it practice, or be you start your own business. This is phenomenal to understand. It creates a huge opportunity during the course of discussion and post discussion once you get into the profession itself. No, Pritika. uh, but it's a good thing to understand. See, just what Pritika has said, we are diverting to bring an issue for understanding purpose. Okay. So when we write, see, this is Pritika, I'm taking your sentence as an example to understand. It's a good error to learn from. We can always learn good things. So please understand that like law, you are all reading Companies Act, Income Tax, GST, and multiple laws that you are reading. The issue of interpretation of statutes is very important. How you frame your sentences is very important. And the same applies to you as student for examination. Okay. So to that extent, let me read the sentence and then I'll tell you how we need to improve our understanding. So Pritika says, sir, park transactions are recorded in memorandum. No, park transaction is an example of memorandum. Got my point? When we talked about memorandum, I probably must have hinted that we are going to discuss that again. In memorandum, we took a live example of NPA, unrealized interest. Now, this Spark is not part of the accounting transaction. It is outside accounting. So you can, for the sake of understanding, you can say Spark is an example of memorandum. Not technically correct, but for example's sake. Okay, next. GL accounting, general ledger accounting. Yes. Next is again very important topic. The one line itself is a professional opportunity, creating chart of accounts. Now, please understand what exactly is the meaning of chart of accounts. We are going to talk about this. In this chapter, we are going to talk about something called as XBRL, Extended Business Reporting Language. There, this word is very, very important. Chart of account means giving definition to the groups, to the subgroups, to the ledgers within the subgroup, where those ledgers fall. Okay, very important. Chart of accounts. So debtors, then within debtors, you could have debtors based on state the sale is made. So how that configuration is being made. Expenditures, you could have direct expenditure that is going to trading account, indirect expenditure that may be going to profit and loss account below the trading account. So this is again very, very, very important. This requires a very good understanding, creation of chart of accounts. Then account groups, defining data transfer rules, creation of general ledger account. Now, what exactly is the intention of these words? Defining data transfer rules and like that. So it is again linked to the way the postings are going to be done in system. आप सिस्टम में पोस्टिंग कैसे करेंगे, इसका उससे सीधा संबंध है. Defining this data transfer rules and these terminologies. Just okay. Network issue is being set right. Okay. So defining data transfer rules, creation of general ledger accounts. Okay. Then next is again very important, tax configuration and creation of maintenance of house of banks, or you could say the nature of bank accounts that an entity is having or creating. So this is again very, very, very important. Tax configuration, we talked about lot. We have talked a lot on GST. Now the concept of TDS, TCS, ESIC, then provident funds. So how these configurations have to be made? This all will be made in financial accounting module. Then AR/AP, account receivable, account payable, fixed assets, general ledger cash management, creation of vendor master data, vendor related finance attributes like account groups, payment terms, very, very important. We took example in chapter 1, the credit period. So 90 days to 60 days. In chapter 1, there was a risk chart that someone is able to change the credit period or change the master of vendors. So all these are basically created in financial accounting module. Then account receivable, creation of customer master, customer related finance attribute like account groups, payment terms, asset accounting, integration with sales and distribution and materials management. So these are all aspects that are configured in financial accounting module. Now, last one, integration of sales and distribution and materials management. We are going to have a big discussion on this. This integration is the key to success of any ERP system. So there is a separate header in the chapter, and we are going to discuss like that. We'll create lot of questions to learn. Next is controlling. So at the end of each module that we read, we'll make a fast recap. So financial accounting is basically concerned with the accounting aspect, the vendor configuration, the master configuration, like that. Then the way the accounts will be generated, the classification, the chart of accounts, all are part of financial accounting modules. I'll give time to you to ask any questions because, see, please understand, this part has to be learned module by module. Why this has to be learned module by module? Because the company that is selling the ERP package is selling module by module. So when you buy an ERP package, you need not buy all the 10, 12 modules listed. You can buy modules which are necessary for you. You all have answered this question. Which module I am going to buy depends on the necessity of the module for me. मेरे लिए क्या सबसे जरूरी है उसको मैं खरीदूंगा, ऐसा करना है. So that is very important. So let us go to the next one, that is controlling. Now, controlling means, okay. Okay, Prabhat. Great, Prabhat. So again, each chocolate to Prabhat. What we will do when we are through all these modules, what we'll do after break, what I'll do, we'll have a small run through on Tally. We'll run through on Tally, and then we'll run through that ERP that I made on Excel. So that is going to help you consolidate it. Great, Prabhat. Thanks for this. That will do after completing this or after the break as the time allows us. Yes. Then controlling. Now, by the nature, the name of the module controlling, it must give a good indication that who is going to be the user of that module. So controlling is a module that will be used by top management, those charged with governance, board of directors, board of governors, those who are creating policy framework for the entity. They are going to use this controlling as a module. Yes, Mohammed, great. Good definition. Very good. So he says it is management principles implemented through technology. Fantastic. Great. It controls the business flow in an organization. This module helps in analyzing the actual figures with planned data and planning business strategies. So if you read this line, like in costing, you had standard costing, variance analysis. So one of the things you can do from controlling is variance analysis. So you can see the actual expenditure to budgeted expenditure. What are the differences? Then you can talk about cost elements, revenue elements. These elements are stored on financial accounting module. So by the nature of controlling is basically going to create a very intelligent reports for management to act upon. So controlling module will be programmed in a manner to pick data that exists. More specifically say, most of the data controlling module is going to take it from the financial accounting module. So that, because see, please understand, organizations are so big, management cannot look to each transaction. You have to manage through what is an accepted philosophy of management that we call as MBE, management by exception. So entities have to manage by exception. Cost element accounting, cost center accounting. I told you ours is a king subject. So cost center, whatever you have read in costing, it has to be configured here. Let us read. This component provides overview of the cost and revenue that occur in an organization. The cost element are the basis for cost accounting and enable users. They gives the user ability to display cost for each of the accounts that have been assigned to the cost element. It could be defining cost centers, internal order, work breakdown structure. Now, WBS is just remember the word. Okay, it's basically big projects broken into small parts. Then, cost center accounting. This provides information on cost incurred by business. Cost centers can be created for such functional areas like marketing, purchasing, HR, finance, facilities, information system, administrative support, legal, shipping, receiving, or even quality. Some of the benefits of cost center accounting are that managers can set budget, cost center targets, and planning part of it. So what cost center allows you, like, for example, this, accounting standard 17 segment. Okay. So accounting standard 17 segment, we have all read. The related index also probably you have read. So when you talk of segment accounting, you have to create segment. Your segment can be based on business or your segment can be based on geography. So whenever you create segment, you look for like revenue is a parameter. Then so that much revenue it must cover. So when you now in the same means, in fact, if you look to this, what I'm basically doing, I'm merging accounting standard 17 requirement to this header that you are discussing. Okay. So if I need to comply with AS 17, I need to have this cost center accounting because I need to accumulate that much cost for that division, that product, that geography. So this will only be done through this cost center accounting. So very, very important aspect to be covered. And based on this, your decisions can be taken. So cost center accounting probably is going to be source for reports that you are going to generate for your accounting standard 17 compliance segment reporting. Okay, so you have read accounting standard, and I understand you have read all your accounting standard. 17 is part of your syllabus. Yes. So accounting standard you have read. Good. So see what the core idea. See, my idea is that you're reading accounting standard now. Next time when you recall accounting standard and you start doing segment accounting, and there's a requirement for segment asset and segment revenue and segment operating expenditure, and you have to calculate segment profit and segment loss. And there is a residuary clause that if this much, based on the selection, this much external segment revenue is not reflected, so you need to improve. You need to create additional segment. So all those is going to come from this aspect. Believe me, this is a very okay, Sharon, good. But then see what you can do. Someone did ask. So what to note? So what you do along with this, the discussion we are having, Sharon, you keep a note that you have to read accounting standard 17. So it is not necessary that you only do it through class. You can do on a self basis. So suppose I talk about a subject or topic that you have not read, then my suggestion is that go to that topic, go to that document, go to that publication of the institute, go to that module that is available with you and do a layman's reading. Just run through the topic. You are CA student, at least that much understanding it is going to create. So like homework, you can do it. So those of you who have not read AS 17, as Sharon has said, just take time, review AS 17, link it to the concept we have talked about. So once you do it immediately, it is going to solidify. I would like to say that our discussion is like cement, and when you review it, you add water to it. So when you add water to cement, the whole transaction is cemented. It becomes permanent like. So that is how it has to be done. Now, coming to the slide that is displayed. Now, believe me, each header of the slide can be discussed. There are on virtually each of the headers, it can be a huge discussion. Okay, but we have to do as short as possible. I'll keep it as short as possible. These are phenomenal topics to learn and talk about. Okay. Activity-based costing. This analysis cross-departmental business process and allow for process-oriented and cross-functional view of cost center. So cross-functional means how an element of cost incurred at A department is going to have an impact on B department. So ABC, activity-based costing. So this also comes as a part of controlling module. Then internal audit, internal orders. Internal orders provide a means of tracking cost of a specific job, service, or task. These are used as method to collect those cost and business transaction related to tasks. Now, what internal orders are all about? So, internal orders let me take take an example. Yeah, you can take AS 17 itself, segment reporting. So, within segment reporting, there is a concept of inter-segment revenue. Inter-segment revenue, I'm giving you a live example. Just understand this. And based on this example, I'm sharing a manufacturing process with you. And based on this manufacturing process, we learn the word internal order. It's a very good example to remember. You know, maize, makka. So maize I consider as a god gifted product on earth. A single maize, मक्का के एक दाने से, जितना मैं पढ़ पाया, 150 अलग अलग तरह के प्रोडक्ट बनाए जा सकते हैं. फ्रॉम अ मेज grain, you can generate 150 different products by processing it further and further and further. So what I'm doing, I am sharing that example of maize process, and then we'll link it to. Please understand, see, more practical you make, the better it becomes. Whatever accounting system you are doing, it is not going to be in air. It is going to be linked to something. So when you link it to a real product, the understanding becomes clear. Okay. So maize, it is processed. So when first the initial process of maize is done, so you get husk. Husk means the outer cover. Churi jisko bolte hain, husk. So this is used for animal feed. So that goes. Then the one of the valued products that comes for first process, you can keep a note of it. It is called as DMH, dextrose monohydrous. So you process maize, you get DMH. Okay. Suppose I am a company that is manufacturing DMH, dextrose monohydrous. DMH is sellable in open market, so I can sell it. So it's a sellable product. Okay. But I am not selling it. I further process. So when I further process DMH, I get something called as DAH, dextrose anhydrous. I'll tell you where you see DAH. You know, glucon D, glucon C, this glucose products. So if you have a packet of glucose at your home, just read the chemical composition of glucose. So it is basically DH, dextrose anhydrous. This I can sell in open market and I can captively consume. I decide to captively consume. So through DH, I make what is called as IVF, intravenous fluid, that glucose bottles that you see in hospital, okay, which are, so intravenous, the glucose is given to patients in hospital. So I can further process to create IVF. Now, within this process, I get more products. So one of the product is called as maize oil, makka ka tel. That is also a product out of this. You know what I have talked to you. So you have read something, a joint product in EIS-2, byproducts, so valuation of joint product, byproducts. Now coming to our topic. Let us read internal audits. So internal audit provide a mean of tracking cost of specific jobs. So what is happening? Where from maize, suppose I create DMH. So that becomes my first internal product. I can sell DMH in market. So if I decide to sell DMH in market, I must know what of DMH? Cost. So that I will add profit and sell it in the market. Even if I decide not to sell in the market and captively consume, I'll be making DAH, dextrose anhydrous. So dextrose anhydrous I need to sell in the market, or I can captively consume. Whatever I do, I need cost of sale for DH also. So this is what is internal orders. Now let us read. Internal order provide a means of tracking cost of a specific job, service, or task. These are method to collect those costs and business transaction related to that task. So when I'm generating segment, now DH, DMH, and intra, they are segments, business segments. So when I need to create segmental reporting for suppose I'm a company which is selling dextrose monohydrous, selling dextrose anhydrous, and selling IVF, intravenous fluids, those glucose bottles. I need to create costing for all of them. Just understand the impact of the discussion we are having. That becomes part of internal orders. That is how you do it. Then product cost controlling. So product cost controlling, this calculates the cost that occurred during manufacture of the product or provision of a service and allows management's ability to analyze their product cost and make decisions on optimal prices to market their product. Again, we talked about cost of sale, exactly that, product cost controlling. What is the cost that you're incurring? And like today, due to Russia-Ukraine war, the prices of petrol, prices of precious metals have gone very high. So you must be able to ensure, you must be able to track if you are using those products in your manufacturing process, you must be able to track the price of those products as it is coming. Then profitability analysis. This allows management to review information with respect to company's profit or contribution margin by individual market segment. The word segment has come. Okay, so we have been taking example of segmentation and just see the word segment has come. Then profit center accounting. We talked about that for each segment you calculate profit. This evaluates profit or loss of individual independent areas within an organization. So that is the relevance of controlling. See the intensity of the topic that you're looking at. Who is going to be the user of this is top management, board of director, those charged with governance, decision makers in an entity, board of governors, like that. That is controlling. Okay. Yeah. uh, Good. Yes, it may be there. It must be there. Yes, yes. Good. Yes. So I think what Alok has said. So what it is providing the method to value it at different uh, levels through this module. Yes, absolutely correct. So I think Alok, I need to give a e-chocolate for this. So Alok gets our e-chocolate for a very good presentation. Let us read that. So what Alok has given an example that what controlling module is helping management to achieve. So what it is helping? It is helping management achieve the method to value its product at different levels through this module. In fact, I'm just taking a word in costing. We have read BEP, break even point sale, MOS, margin of safety. So all these considerations are very, very important. Just understand the level of configuration you are going to do in controlling module. And believe me, all these configurations, I suppose I'm putting this question back to you. I've told you that whatever we are reading is phenomenal for academics from your CA Inter to CA Final, phenomenal for your articleship from CA Inter to CA Final, and phenomenal once you get into practice, becoming a chartered accountant or in service after you become a CA or start your business. At all levels, you are going to use it. That is the importance. Okay. Now, so yeah, so no questions still here. Great. Now coming to the next module, sales and distribution, S&D. Just one point more I wanted to make. So please understand that all what we are talking about, the intensity is so high. So just for the sake of your understanding, in chapter when we talked about business process automation, there were 8 steps. The 5th step was engaging consultant. Please understand each of the module, the intensity is so drastic that there are specialized consultants implementing only a module for an entity. So that level of intensity is there for ERP that we are all reading through. Okay, then Prabhat, this is used by organization to support sales distribution activities. Yes, okay, good. So someone's Mohammed is informed we are going to start costing. Yes, do it, please. Great. Now coming to sales and distribution. S&D is again a complex module used by organization to support sales and distribution activities of the products and services, starting from inquiry of to order and then ending with delivery. In fact, we did talk about that snack seller in my hometown who created a simple Google form to collect orders. Because just imagine using technology can have such a huge impact on your business like that. What are the key features of sales and distribution module? Setting up of the organization structure, creation of new company code, sales organization, distribution channels. Okay. So now you have read, I'm taking you to part B of this paper 7, strategic management. I want you to list the distribution channels available today. I am giving you definition. I want you to write. Okay. Distribution channel means the way company can sell its product. One line definition. The way company sells the product is distribution channel. Give examples. Then divisions, business area, plant, sales area, maintaining sales office, storage location. Because we are going to talk about it in chapter 5, I'm just giving you an idea. See what has happened. uh, State Bank of India is a good example to talk about. What State Bank of India over last 10 years has done, it has reorganized itself. So State Bank of India has reorganized itself based on the nature of business function they are doing. So today, State Bank of India has a retail asset processing center, RAPC. Retail asset means home loan, education loan, vehicle loan. Then State Bank of India has SME, small medium enterprise loan division, SMECC, cash credit. So small medium enterprise is a separate division. Same is there in private banks also, HDFC, ICICI Bank, they've created all divisions. These divisions are based on their sales function. So see how you have created a company based on the customer you are looking to, customer you are adhering to, customer you are interacting with. Let me read this again. Setting up of the organizational structure, creation of a new company, company code, sales organization, distribution channel, division, business area, plant, sales area, maintaining sales office, storage locations. So the core, so the example we took about, to who is your customer, based on you have classified the whole business. Then like large, we have Indian MNCs, multinational corporations. So like Tata, they have plant in India, they have plant outside India in multiple locations. Adani Group, they have plants in India, plant outside India. So companies classify based on their global plant location. Then assigning organizational units. Now, what exactly is the meaning? Assignment of individual component created in above activities with each other per design, like company code to company, sales organization to code, distribution channel to sales organization. Okay, so distribution channel has come in line 1, line 2, we'll read. Then pricing, yes, defining condition tables, condition types, condition sequences, when price can be increased, when it cannot be increased. You must have seen that this milk, I am taking an example, due to increase of prices of raw material across board. So you must be seeing that your local dairy manufacturer, they've increased the price of milk. I think they've increased in last 2-3 months. It has been increased by rupee 4 per liter. So when you are going to increase the price, that is. Now to this, I'm bringing something that is relevant. I think accounting standard 7 is about construction accounting, construction cost. Yes. In construction accounting standard, you have the concept of fixed price contract and cost plus contract. So when you have a fixed price contract, in that contract between contractee and the contractor, there are conditions defined. You know, fixed price contract. You have to say yes to that fixed price contract. Please say yes, you know it. Then I'll give you a very good example to learn. So when prices are going to change, how they are going to change, how it shall be documented, that is defined in this. So let us see your answers you have given. Yes. So Jyoti says the channel could be manufacturer to wholesaler and then retailer to consumer. So this is one channel. Good. E-commerce. Yes. Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, Snapdeal. These are e-commerce. So company directly selling to customer. Then online through apps, social media. Yes. Direct to customer market. Uh, social media affiliate. Through internet, you can sell personally through agent distributor. Yes. So manufacturer to consumer, manufacturer to wholesaler, retailer and consumer. Yes. Escalation clause. Price escalation is yes. Okay. Okay. So AS7 is part of advanced accounting. Yeah. Yeah. Great. So when you go to contract, just keep a tag of it. Contract accounting, construction accounting. So that standard talks about fixed price contract. So when in a fixed price contract, it basically is that suppose I'm builder, I'm building a multi-storied complex for you. And now what has happened due to the general price increase, the it's a fixed price contract. So I have to make that building in that price. But the cement price, the iron steel price have actually increased a lot in last 6 months since the war began. So in my agreement that I have with you, we write that it is a fixed price contract subject to these conditions. So that is the condition table, that if the price increase for cement, suppose it is say 500 rupees per sack of cement, then suppose it goes more than 550, that means 10% plus increase, then we are going to revise the price. So that is called as price escalation clause. It is done through condition tables that are defined in sales and distribution. Okay. Then key features of sales and distribution process includes pre-sales activity, sales order, inventory sourcing, material delivery, billing, receipt from customer and payment. You know what is this? I want you to give name to this, whatever you are seeing on screen, as you read in chapter 1. I want you to give name to this, whatever you are reading here, as you read in chapter 1. I'm not explaining, we have already talked about this. So pre-sales activity, sales order, inventory sourcing, material delivery, billing, receipt from customer, and getting payment from customer. So that is the different processes that you do in sales. So you have to name the word that we read, exactly these activities in chapter 1. Then another aspect of sales and distribution is setting up of sales document type. Yes, sales document type. See, understand. In fact, if you're looking at this, for each module, document type is coming. So what it means, that each module is going to have an independent existence and then integrated with, say, financial accounting module. Yeah. Billing type, tax related components, setting up of customer master data records and configuration. So how the credit will be given, what is the credit, how credit reassessment will be done, what taxation will be applicable, when supply will be made. Like I know of companies which monopoly is not there today, but still few companies may have monopoly of their product in specific region. So what those companies do, they require that delivery of goods will only be made to customer or dealer when advance payment is there. So this is configured in system that first payment has to come. So accounting has to say payment received. If it says payment received, then only you go for selling the product or sending the product to that customer. Okay. Good. So I think we need to give this chocolate to Dhyanesh. But Dhyanesh, I wanted one answer. So he has given the correct answer also. O2C. Let us go to the previous slide. Sorry. Yeah. Order to cash. All these steps we talked about. Great. Then next is human resource module. So I think this sales distribution is important. The intensity of discussion must make you realize that. Okay. Again, please understand each of the module that you are reading, the related accounting standard compliance will have to be made in this module. So the previous module you read, sales and distribution, you tell me what accounting standard compliances may arise. So I want you to name the accounting standards here in the chat. Which accounting standard need to be looked into when you are referring to sales and distribution module? Okay. Yeah, Priyanka, order to cash. Good. So which accounting standard will be taken care there? Okay. Then, so our class is like, we sometimes revise all these subjects also. Okay. So it becomes a revisionary class also. Then next is HRM, human resource module. We already had some very good discussion on HR module. But I want you to put yourself into it because See, once you get into we have talked about the relevance of the discussion, but this HR module, it's a big outsourcing service that consulting companies are providing to uh, corporates. So payroll accounting, human resource accounting, it's a big business. So lot of outsourcing opportunity lies in this one. Okay. Uh, this module enhances the work process and data management within HR departments of enterprise, right from hiring a person to evaluating the performance, managing promotions, compensation, handling payroll, and other related activities of an HR. It is processed using this module. The task of managing the details, the task flow of most important resource, that is human resources, managed using this module. So if you imagine an individual from the recruitment and induction and training and retirement and retrenchment, every aspect has to be covered in this HR module, human resource module. Now we want to go to the table from the module to read about HR module. But before we go to the table, let us see the answers you have given. Which accounting standard for sales and distribution? So AS7, AS2, AS2. Yeah. So I want to give this e-chocolate to Dhanesh. Is winning e-chocolates today. Revenue recognition. Yes, that was one I was seeking. No, Palani Sami, Palani Sami, sorry. Uh, it is absolutely not necessary. But why? See, what is going to happen? What is the idea behind this discussion? The idea behind this discussion is to make it easy for you to remember. Please understand. Idea behind this discussion is to make it easy for you to remember. So, once you create these references, the remembrance will be easy. See, many of the students, they talk, sir, how to recall in examination. So my feedback is no need to recall, understand. But then how you understand when you have this linkages built, how it is impacting. That is the core of it. And this is how we all learn through that. Okay, good. So let us go to the module. Sharon, a lot of empty entries are coming from your chat. So just check. Okay, I'm just bringing the module. Give me a second. So I found this flow of activities in very good, the very good way of presenting it. So I thought, let us read directly from the module itself. So we have recruitment, hiring, recording time and expenses, pay via payroll. The recruitment includes personal departments, hire, maintain benefit plan, maintain personal data, family member, dependent information, keeping a track of recording the education, change of pay, change of position, leave of absence, termination, and personal action. So all these all these activities are being done in human resource department of an entity. And see, please understand, when you talk of ERP as a software, as a system, when you talk of HR module of that ERP system, what is basically being looked at? That how these are going to be configured under. So these all activities need to be configured in your ERP system. That is how you're looking at this. Okay. Yeah. So it's helpful learning, linking, yes, self-reading. And understand, it creates a phenomenal understanding like that. Okay. Production planning. Now, see, this is one of the modules that I consider very, very, very important when we talk about ERP as a concept. Production planning. So the example we took, let us carry that as an example about this maize, DMH, dextrose monohydrous, DAH, dextrose anhydrous, IV fluids. And then when I was recalling, I forget to tell you, starch is also one of the products that come from this factory only. Starch, husk, maize oil. It's a God sent product on earth. Okay. And then you can eat popcorns also. So beyond that, I'm talking about. Now, so production planning. So what we do, we'll take this as an example and build into this production planning. We'll see how we can do it. And important to me, very important, those entities which are doing production for them, those who are manufacturing entities, for them, production planning is a must. Uh, Sharon has had a very different question. No, human resource are expenditure. Yes, it is accounting standard 15, employee benefit. Sharon. So how you account for the expenditure, that is what the standard is. In fact, Sharon allows me to tell you that when you talk of human resource accounting, you have to see the concept of accounting standard 15, leave encashment, gratuity, payment of gratuity. You have got what this defined benefit plan, defined contribution plan. So all this configuration is going to be made there. Yeah. Thank you, Sharon, for helping me recall. So for that module, you have AS 17. Okay. AS 15, sorry. Then production planning. So a very important module that includes software design specifically for production planning and management. This module also consists of master data, system configuration, and transactions to accomplish plan procedure for production. Production planning module collaborates with master data, sales and operation planning, distribution, resource planning, production planning, material requirement planning, capacity planning, product cost planning, and so on while working through production management in an enterprise. Now, please understand, this comes from this, your costing, you do this direct costing where you calculate the direct material, direct cost, resources. So when you talk about that, that becomes part of production planning. The example we took about ERP, that availability of machine, availability of human resource, all this becomes part of production planning. So in fact, HR module, sales and distribution module, inventory management, material management, they are all linked to production planning. We will see, because there is a separate topic header called as integration of various modules of ERP. In fact, for bigger ERP, production planning requires a lot of engineering understanding. So the experts who implement production planning module for entity, they generally have a background. They're generally engineers. Okay. So this requires a phenomenal understanding of how production is going. Very, very tough. What has to be configured? Just read what has to be configured. Material master, work centers, routing. Routing means the flow. BOM, bills of material, you have answered. Okay, so there is a second question you are answering. Bills of material. So what? Now it is reverse. We talked about this bills of material. Few of you did answer it correctly then also. So you have to tell me now, what is a bills of material? Okay. Then SOP, sales and operations planning, provide ability to forecast sales and production plan based on historical, current and future data. Distribution resource planning allows companies the ability to plan the demand for distribution centers. Production planning, this includes material forecasting, demand management, long-term planning, and master production scheduling. Each of them is very, please understand, these simple words have huge intensity when actually implemented in companies. Big jobs have to be executed through this. Okay. Material requirement planning relies on demand supply elements with the calculation parameters to calculate net requirement, capacity planning, what capacity you have, what is ideal available, how much can be used, product cost planning. This is process of evaluating all the time values, value of component materials to determine the product cost. Before we go to the module, let us see your answers. AS15. Yeah. Okay, sure. List of raw material, Piyush. Yes. So bills of material is, you have to complete, Piyush. Bills of material is the list of raw materials required to manufacture a single unit of finished goods. Great. Very important. So BOM you learn in costing. Okay. Now, because the word BOM has come and you have defined. So what I'm telling you right now, this, I talked about that. Say ERPs are modulars. We have list of say 10, 12 modules that we are going to talk about. I told you that there is a, beyond that, you can add on plugin. So there's a very separate software product that is called as a CAD CAM, computer aided design and computer aided manufacturing. Now just understand how things are done. Computer aided design and manufacturing means that suppose there is a product and that product you are reconfiguring. Just consider this mouse as an example. So mouse, you can redesign, you can create a new mouse. So in the mouse, there's a roller that rolls the slides. Now, if I add another roller, so adding another roller may probably add to the effectiveness, efficiency of the product itself. So this adding a new roller, this design is done in something called a CAD CAM modules, computer aided design, computer aided manufacturing modules. So this designs once finalized in this softwares, very specialized design and manufacturing softwares, then they are linked to the production planning BOM. What is going to happen? So suppose you're doing a new design and this new design adds a component. And now because you're going to manufacture based on the new design, so your component definition has to be improved. So how that component definition will be improved? Through linking the CAD CAM module to production planning or linking CAD CAM to your bills of material. That is how you can add on modules to this whole. Okay, let us see. Yeah. So Prabhat, again, I want all of you, see, you've written reasonably correct. Vedika has the best answer. BOM is one unit of finished product required how many inputs? So what is the quantity of raw material required to generate one unit of finished product? You have given, like Dhanesh has said, list of material, but please link it to the finished products also. Say that linkage is very important. Bills of material. Okay, good. Let us go to the module, the table. Just give me a second. Sorry. We need to link to the module. Yeah, just. Okay. So it's a simple flow chart. Issue of raw material from store, conversion of the same in WIP, then finished goods and transfer to godown. So that is how you do a manufacturing process, a simple flow chart. Yeah. Coming back to our discussion. Materials management, MM. Now, so suppose I say we talked about levels of inventory, maximum level, minimum level, reorder level. Then you help me learn something called as danger level. So all these levels of inventory are basically put in materials management module. It's, as the term suggests, it manages materials required, processed and produced in enterprise. Different type of procurement processes are managed through with this system. Some of the popular subcomponents of materials management module are vendor master data, consumption based planning, purchasing, inventory management, invoice verification, and so on. Material management also deals with movement of materials via other modules like logistics, SCM, supply chain management, sales delivery, warehouse management, production planning, like that. Materials requirement planning, Mohammed, material requirement planning. Yeah. Yes, buffer stock is also a level. So it's a learning process. Great. So all these definitions are given in this module. Yes, yes, Sharon. Sand is also material. Cement is also material. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For all today, government is doing lot and lot of infrastructure, new roads, new airports, new ports, new railway station, new bus station. Lot of infrastructure is being built, both in terms of quantity and both and good quality. So all for all those building, that becomes sand and cement are raw material. So they are part of their material. Yes. Then what other items need to be, what material management is concerned with? So it is concerned with purchase requisition from production department. We talked about a detailed discussion on PR, purchase requisition. So production department sends a request to purchase department for purchase of raw material required for production. So whenever our reorder level is hit, this requisition is generated. It goes to it is generated from materials going to purchase department. Evaluation of requisition. What purchase department does shall evaluate the requisition with the current stock position and purchase order pending position, and says shall decide upon accepting or rejecting. So what is the stock available? What are the pending purchase order? Pending purchase order means the entity has sent purchase order to vendors. Delivery from vendor is to come. So if the purchase manager evaluates that the available stock is sufficient to keep the unit running for 7 days, and the pending purchase order the vendor is going to supply in next 2 days, so the purchase manager is within his her rights to say, okay, let us not go for a new purchase because a purchase order is already pending for purchase. Yes, all these are linked to EOQ. Great. Economic order quantity. Then asking of quotations, we have talked about that. So you have purchase order, before purchase order, you have comparative statement, before comparative statement, you have quotations, before quotations, you have purchase requisition, before that, you have indent, before indent, you have reorder level. Let me do the reverse one. The way transit. So you have a reorder level hit. That means item has hit a reorder level. So as soon as it hits a reorder level, an indent is generated from materials management. It indent goes to say purchase department. Purchase department checks the status of other orders. So it converts the same into purchase requisition. Based on that, you call quotation from vendors. You call quotations from vendor. Vendor give you quotation. Based on that, you create comparative, which is the best vendor. You select the best vendor and give the purchase order. So the same process in reverse. And what is the quantity you are going to purchase? EOQ or ROQ, economic order quantity or reorder quantity, again defined in materials management. Then, so you do evaluation of quotations, then release purchase order. Once purchase order is released, material is received. When you receive material, you create something called as material receipt note or good receipt note. This transaction shall be done with linking with purchase order. Information is purchase order is automatically copied to material receipt voucher for saving time and efforts of user. Stock is increased after recording of this transaction. Issue of material received by store shall be issued to production department as per requirement. And once you get that, you create purchase invoice and go for payment to vendor. Then next is quality management. So quality management module helps in management of quality in production across processes in an organization. This quality management module provides help an organization to accelerate their business by adopting a structured and functional way of managing quality in different processes. Now, please understand, quality management is a very, very important aspect for manufacturers, for service providers, more specifically for manufacturers, because they have to supply the same product quality all across. So if you have to supply the same product quality, you need to ensure the control of quality. So control, just understand where every control has to be done. I'm again sharing a manufacturing process to help you understand the quality aspect. Okay. So this cotton yarn is a natural fiber. Cotton, sorry, not cotton yarn. Cotton is a natural fiber. So it is there in field. Now cotton plucking is done, and then plucked cotton is stored in godowns. I am sharing you the process, and then we'll link this process to quality management as an idea. Okay. So cotton is a natural fiber. The cotton wool, what you call, कपास का फूल जिसको कहते हैं, it is there in the farm. खेत में होता है वो. From there, the cotton is picked. Plucked cotton flowers are taken to a godown. It is stored in a godown. Each cotton flower has a cotton seed in it. So that cotton seed is removed. The cotton seed is removed. Then the remaining cotton is pressed. It is pressed in that location and converted into something called as a cotton bale. BALE, cotton bale. Cotton की गठान बोलते हैं उसको. It is converted into a cotton bale. From once it is pressed and converted into cotton bale, it is sent to a cotton yarn manufacturing unit. So cotton yarn manufacturing unit receives those cotton bale. Now, what is one of the first things those units do? I am sharing that with you just to give you a feeling. And then once this discussion is over, I'll link this to the quality management. So cotton bales, cotton ki gathan on, if you find the word new, I'll request you to search on Google, you'll get the idea. Okay, cotton bale, gathan hoti hai cotton ki. That cotton bale is brought to cotton yarn manufacturing unit. So they open the bale, they loosen the cotton because it is pressed. It is the loosened cotton is put on a conveyor belt. The conveyor belt has this conveyor belt is basically to remove impurities from the cotton bale. So because I've seen the process, I am sharing you the nature of impurities which are removed automatically, and those impurities which need to be removed manually. Okay, I am sharing those which are removed through machine. So the loosened cotton is kept on a conveyor belt. The conveyor belt has a length, say 50 meters. Sides of the conveyor belt, there are magnets. You know why these magnets are there? Because cotton has been traveling from field. So there is a chance a metal, iron nail, or ball bearing, they may be stuck in the cotton bale. So that need to be taken out. So that is sucked out. Then there are a number of workers standing on both sides of the conveyor belt. Now, if it is a metal, it will go through the magnet. But if it is not metal, so I'll tell you what items are there which are not metal, which have to be physically plugged, like throwaways, like this pan gutka pouches. I've seen them. Okay. Small, just a thin sliver of that, they are there. So they have manually picked out. Now, still, there is a chance that an item is just not tracked. I'll tell you what is that item. You know this jute रस्सी आपने देखी होगी, जूट की रस्सी. Okay, so jute cord you must have seen. So even a small piece of that, because jute is also a natural fiber, it goes into that. Now what happens? Because it is a natural fiber, cotton is white, but jute is say dark brown. So it converts into thread, and that color of that jute piece hits the quality of cotton when the yarn is made. This is one. Second, one thing that just cannot be removed is this dust that comes when cotton is processed in the factories where cotton seed is removed. That process is called as ginning and pressing. So while ginning and pressing is there, so you have to remove that dust also. You must ensure that cotton doesn't get dust colored, because if cotton gets dust colored, the yarn at the end is going to be dust colored. Now, if I've shared you this much, what was the idea? The idea was that India is a big cotton exporting country. So government of India wants lot and lot of good quality cotton to be manufactured. So government of India has got a scheme. I'm sharing the scheme and then my link to quality management. The scheme is that cotton and ginning factories are given funds to have their floor on which the cotton is going to be kept. That floor must be dust proof. So they have cemented floor. अपने फैक्ट्री के फ्लोर को सीमेंट करवा लेना, इसके लिए सरकार पैसे देती है. Why? Because if the floor is cemented and clean, the dust is not going to come to in cotton. Now imagine yourself as someone who is quality manager of a cotton yarn manufacturer. So then this module becomes relevant for you. And now let me read it. So quality management module has to collaborate with procurement, purchase, sale, quality of the product being sold, production planning, inspection, notification, audit, and everything. That is. It includes quality planning, control, assurance, and improvement. Quality management process includes the following: master data standards, as set, quality targets to be met, quality management plan, whether it is prepared, how these quality targets will be achieved, take actions for needed measures. So just because we have talked about cotton, so there's a allowed moisture content that can come in cotton. So quality cotton yarn manufacturing units measure the moisture content also. So this is how you keep track of quality. That is the relevance of identify issues, improvement and changes to be made. So this example I have shared, that government of India realized that if India has to be a big cotton yarn exporter, cotton cloth exporter, you need to have good quality of cotton. So they made an analysis that if quality is not good, where is the problem? So they found that one of the problem is that the ginning pressing factory has a rough floor. When you have a rough floor, you keep cotton on a rough floor, it captures the dust of the floor. So have this technology upgradation fund so that they can have proper flooring. That is how. It's a big thing to improve. In case of any changes needed to the product, change requests are sent. Report on the overall quality that is achieved. Quality check is at multiple points. So that is how you do it. Then plant maintenance. Yes. So there is something called as scheduled maintenance and non-scheduled. Means like you have got a two-wheeler, four-wheeler with you. So there's a service cycle. So that is scheduled. But sometimes your vehicle doesn't start. That becomes a non-scheduled maintenance. But because big manufacturers, they need to ensure that plant is running, because stopping a plant is a huge cost. Again, this is a functional module. It ensures maintaining equipment. Plant maintenance application component provides you with a comprehensive software solution for all maintenance activities. It supports cost efficient maintenance. Objectives: to achieve minimum breakdown, because if you have proper, then breakdown will be low at lowest cost, to keep machines, other facilities working without interruption, and to ensure availability of machines building as per requirement. Okay, this will take after the break. Let us first take the flow chart. Okay. 2.6.8. Just give me a second. So reasonably good flowchart has been given in the module. Yeah, here it is. So equipment, information about items, maintenance, yearly maintenance schedule. So this is how you manage your maintenance. Let us read any queries before we take the break. Yes. Okay. So that is, let me bring the slide and then we'll have the break. So we are having a break. It's 7:30. So 7:40 we meet. So here we are on project system. This is okay. This is an integrated project management module used for planning and managing projects. This includes cost and planning, scheduling, material requisition, services. Let us go to the module. Here it is. So, yeah. So create templates for the project, create the project, project planning, budgeting and release, project implementation and completion. So this is the project planning module. Supply chain, yes, we have already had a good discussion on supply chain management. This module provides extensive functionality for logistics, manufacturing, planning, analytics. You take advantage of a training curriculum that can help an organization drive maximum value from investment. So you need to train your staff. Organization can optimize their supply chain for months in advance, streamline processes as supply network, demand, material requirement planning, create detailed scheduling, refine integration, and all those things. That is basically your linking all the chain. We took this example of supply chain management. Yes. Then CRM, customer relationship management, is a system which aims at improving relationship with existing customer and finding prospective also and winning back former. So CRM's core focus is customer. This system can be brought into effect such with software which helps in collecting, organizing, managing the customer information. In fact, lot of organization, lot of data is there, data is available. So lot of organizations send you birthday wishes. So that is maintaining customer relationship. And believe me, it makes a lot of difference the way you look to the organizations. Key benefits of customer relationship module being improved customer relations, improved customer revenues, maximum upselling and cross-selling, better internal communication and optimizing marketing efforts. So CRM is focused on customer, present customer, prospective customer, and past customer. So it's 3P: present customer, prospective, probable, and past customer. You are focusing on these people. Then inventory module. So before we go to inventory module, I thought all these concepts need to be clear. So I think we have discussed this concept. Everyone is clear. If any definition is not clear to anyone, please put in the chat. I'll explain. Otherwise, we understand. We've discussed this a lot. Stock item, stock group, go down, UOM, unit of measurement, reorder levels, price levels, stock aging, cost tracking, batch and expiry date. So I think all words are clear to you. These are important because these are part of the next module that is created. Okay. Now, integration. So we have taken huge examples of integrating one module to another module. We'll just have a recall of those. Someone did talk about that. I have Ganesh has noted cotton. Yeah. So someone said I have noted. Yeah. Mohammed also said I have noted the cotton quality module. Good. So now if you want to link it to, see, please understand the example I have given you. It is actually the way it is practically done. Okay. So there is no concept of theory. You just need not remember. What we must be able to do is bring out the understanding in clear, logical words. So quality management for cotton, quality management for raw materials. So there's a lot of integration that is done there itself in system. Now integrating modules. Okay, so Pranav asked batch. So Pranav, I explained, it's a good question to answer. Batch is what? So I'm bringing a live case to you. You must have read this. Uh, some drug supplied from some manufacturer in India uh, has led to some issues regarding quality export. So, or so the issue was that drug which was supplied. So there was some component that was found to be beyond the allowed level. Now, when the component was beyond the allowed level, so as soon as the report first came that someone was affected adversely due to taking of that drug, immediately the bottle in which the syrup was there, so its batch number was identified, and immediately all drugs carrying the same batch number were removed from the market. Now, what it means? It basically means batch is keeping a track of a type of item that may have implications to life, risk to life. So, if like all drugs, all critical usage items have batch defined on them, and drug is a very good example. The medicines that they are mandatorily tracked through batch number. So, in the market, if any spurious thing is found or non necessary element or a component that is beyond the reasonable limit is found, if you want to see, if you want to keep a track of where that spurious thing came from, you link it through a batch number. So what is exactly a batch? Batch is basically defining a set of finished products, a quantity of finished products manufactured through common set of raw material. Understand, batch is different from bills of material. Bills of material is the number of raw material needed for manufacturing finished goods. So it's a quantity measure. Batch is basically a tracking measure, a controlling measure. That if you are manufacturing a drug, so that whole quantity of drug will have same batch if the components of raw material are common to that. So this helps keep a track of, it keeps linked till the raw material which is used for manufacturing. So that is you call as batches. Yeah, you can say, Pius, that you or you all are going to appear in May 2023. So that will become a batch like that. Okay. You are sir inter batch. Good. But this medicine is the best example. So carry this example. Medicines are manufactured, tracked through creating batch numbers. Okay, Priyanka. Rice. Okay. Quality for rice. Great. Then integration with other modules. So we have taken lot of example so that we keep a tag of whatever we have talked about. So nothing more to discuss on this part. Integration of materials management with finance and controlling. Two modules. So materials management linked to finance and controlling, payment aspect, cost aspect. That is so that those linkages are made. Then human resource module with finance and controlling must be there. Payroll we have talked about, the application of payroll. So TDS. So a salary is paid, TDS has to be deducted. So a mandatory linkage has to be made between finance and human resource. So these linkages are very, very important. Material management to be integrated to production planning must, because if goods have to be produced, the material has to be available in material management. So very, very important. With sales and distribution, yes. Tracking of finished goods, say your manufacturing process can be demand based, supply based. So if it is demand based, you sales and distribution require the available stock. Based on this stock, you are going to give the orders. So everything is linked. Quality management, we've taken examples. Plant maintenance, yes. Why this is important? Because there could be a scheduled maintenance. So your capacity may be going down. So to that extent, what is the requirement of material if plant is now going to work on 50% capacity? That is. Then So what aspects can be integrated? We have taken a lot of examples. I'll just read through them. Okay. If you want me to explain, I'll explain. Put it in the chat. So when materials management is integrated with finance controlling, you look to valuation, payments, costing. That is, for every posting, there is going to be controlling document to update profit center. So that is how these are linked. Then HRM to FICO, attendance and leave records for calculation, salary also as part of financial accounting. So that is easy. Materials management with production planning. So material requirement planning, someone did talk of MRP. So material requirement planning is basically planning for the future material requirement based on the orders that you have in hand. That is receipt issue, availability checks, receipt of finished goods in warehouse is posted in inventory management. So that is how you link the two. Then material management with sales and distribution, delivery, availability of stock transfer, suppose one go down to other go down. So all this is done through integrated with S&D. In fact, this has become a big topic, logistics. Like this big online sellers, they have big godowns. And this, okay, let us learn more on this. In big metros, many online merchants are giving you delivery. My understanding is they are delivering within, say, 4 hours, 6 hours. So how they are able to deliver in 4 hours, 6 hours? Because they are keeping a track of the inventory that is available. So it's a huge logistics. It's become a big topic. Please understand. When they give you this, suppose you place an order on any of the online merchants, Amazon, Flipkart, Snapdeal, Myntra, like that. So they tell you this product will be delivered by this date. So before they tell you the date, the system backend is calculating that this item that you have ordered is available in this go down, and from this go down, the time it is going to take to come to this go down will be this much. So that is how they tell you the tentative date of delivery. That is. And in fact, like in big metros, because all have big logistics hubs in big metros, so they tell that it will be delivered tomorrow or sometimes by evening also. Yeah. Sharon, FICO is finance module and controlling module. Finance and accounting and controlling that we discussed. So what you're doing, linking finance controlling with materials management. That is. So nothing separate, the linkages we are discussing. Then materials management with quality. They've taken very good examples on this. Based on quality, you make payment to the vendor. Materials management with plant maintenance. So how the maintenance is there. So if maintenance is due, you may have to generate a purchase requisition for that. All these things are space need to be ordered like that. We have taken this example, ice cream manufacturer. So materials management, production planning, sales distribution, supply chain management, finance accounting, controlling, and human resource. So we have done this one. Yeah. Then reporting system and management information. Now, because this has been a very intensive discussion, just take 30 seconds to mentally recall. Any questions, I'll explain them again, and then we'll go to reporting system and MIS. So reporting system and MIS. Definition, users, types, quality of MIS report, and example. Now, so this is what we need to understand and learn. Wherever you talk of reporting system per se, any report that is going to be generated will be based on a data that is available, based on some calculations which are being done. Okay. So reporting system is not going to exist in error like that. Not going to exist in air. Suppose, let me take, if this mouse is my reporting system, there will be a base based on which this report will be generated. So this base will be what all these 12 systems you talked about, all these will be base. So the data is going to reside. Reporting system will be making an intelligent analysis from that. So Just understand. So reporting system doesn't exist in air like that. It is always going to have a base. And what that base will be? Data. Where the data is going to reside? All those systems that we have talked about just now. Okay. So now I'm asking a question to you. Okay. This companies plan their sales for next year. They forecast their sale. Okay. So I'm giving you an example. Let us take example of Pantaloon. Pantaloon that they sell wearables. Okay. Men, woman, boy, girl, like that. Now imagine Pantaloon and you write in the chat that suppose Pantaloon is going to plan their sales for next year. So I want you to do it in a hierarchical order of all the systems we have talked about. Which top 4 systems are going to generate report based on which the company is going to plan its sales in the next year, or you can imagine any company for that matter, any Raymond's, Pantaloon, any seller of wearable you can imagine, just imagine. And just give an idea that they are going to plan the sale for say 2023, 2024 next year. What systems they are going to use, what data from which systems, not data itself, what systems are going to contribute to their decision making process. Okay. So report, presentation of information. It can be basic report for financial accounting, balance sheet, P&L, like that. Okay. MIS report, the one that is used by management to take decisions. It brings information to them. Who are the users of MIS reports? Managers, specialized users, and other users who may have a specific query. The question you are answering is, a wearable company is planning its sales for 2023, 2024. So which systems of ERP they are going to use? Top 4. No, Alok, you have to say top 4. Yeah. Based on which that MIS will be generated. Then, what type of MIS? It depends on user, purpose, and may include the number of calls your staff takes, the number of emails that comes in a day, average amount of time it takes to answer a phone call, email, and number of questions. So it is basically the requirement, how the requirement is coming. Quality parameters is, this is very important. The report has to be relevant, timely, accurate, and structured. Relevant for the question that is being answered, timely because you have to take a decision, accurate, yes, because based on this MIS, a decision will be taken. So inaccuracy of MIS will lead to a incorrect decision, and structured so that you can take a decision based on that. And please understand, these are very, very simple examples. There can be hundreds of such data that can be put here. Okay. But I am expecting that answer from you. Huh? The question you are answering is, a company is planning 2023-24 sales forecast. What ERP modules they are going to use to generate that forecast? Okay. Then, so I thought that answers few people. Few you have answered. So what we'll do, the slide brings us to the next topic. So we are going to link our discussion to the next topic. Okay. So, Priyanka. So I think, good. So we will give an e-chocolate for the best answer. Okay. So Priyanka says finance, inventory, quality time. Okay. Then Pranav says control, that is, then FICO, customer, sales. Then Sujal says controlling module, production module. Alok says sales distribution, quality management, CRM, supply chain. Sujal says Sujal is added supply. So I think the e-chocolate will give to Sujal and Alok. They brought the, now see, please understand why this decision. In fact, this slide and this answer, we are going to merge together. Okay. So sales and distribution, how, say just for example, I'm talking of a variable company, say men's product, say a trouser. So you are planning the sale of the trouser. So sales and distribution will tell you how the sales has been across the country in say current year, how you see the projection. So current year is going to give you good base, how it is going to, like say color of pant, size of the trouser. So all these parameters are in system. Now, based on your sales, you forecast that, for example, in the current year, you have said 1 lakh units of trousers. Okay. So you project that because company is going to market, so there is going to be an increase in sale. So you project that your sale in the next year will be say 1 lakh 10,000 units of trousers. Then that has to be broken as per size, as per color. Once you've broken that as per size and color, you have to back integrate. So 1 lakh 10,000 trousers you are going to sell. So suppose you create a quarterly inventory that we are going to sell 1 lakh 10,000 the whole year, but this is going to be quarter sale. So trousers are sold most during the month of say April, June, July, September, generally lean period of business. And then October till March is a boom period of business. So you break it like that. Then what you do, once you've broken that like that, you have to back integrate it to your manufacturing capacity. That now current year we have sold 1 lakh trousers. How much we manufactured? You found that you have manufactured 1 lakh 5,000. That means 5,000 are already in stock. Materials management. So you need to you need to keep some stock. So suppose you plan to manufacture 1 lakh 10,000 more. So for manufacturing 1 lakh 10,000, you require raw material. Suppose your manufacturing cycle is 30 days. So 30 days you require to manufacture. So you back calculate how much yarn you are going to buy. So that goes to your finance cost involved, costing, how cost is going to increase the next year. So it's phenomenally linked to each other. Now, so just I'm merging the discussion. Modules we have answered, that was line 1. Line 3 was data analytics. So what we have done, this data we are analyzing, how it is going to do, and creating a report. Based on that report, management is going to take a decision that you may call as business intelligence. So you merged all the 3. Okay, I'll do it again. So what we are basically planning, Sharon, that suppose I am a company that is manufacturing trousers. So I'll be manufacturing, I have sold 1 lakh trousers in current year. I feel I'll be selling 1 lakh 10,000 in the next year. Now, when I feel that I'll be selling 1 lakh 10,000 in next year, I need to plan for that. The availability of raw material, the finished goods, the plant capacity, the machines available, the human resource required, the working capital required. All this I have to plan. This is exactly what we are talking about. So next is data analytics and business intelligence. Okay. So first, data analytics. So I think we have taken this example live. Process of examining data set to draw conclusions about information they contain. This example, trousers sold during the year, the color of the trouser, the size of the trouser, the color of the trouser by the region of India. You divide India in say 5 zones, northeast, west, south. Which trouser, which color was sold in which area, like that. All this is being done through specialized software. So this analysis is being enhanced. Data analytics technologies and techniques are widely used in commercial industries to enable organizations to make informed business decisions. So this example is applicable here, informed business decision. And by scientists and researchers to verify or disapprove models, theories, or hypotheses. Last line is also good, but for the discussion we have, the first lines create what of relevance. Okay. Yeah, Sharon, you can use your mentioned Tally ERP for that purpose, but you need to create proper data entry and proper analysis. Then it can be used. The answer is yes. Then data analytics can be 2 types, exploratory and confirmatory. Patterns and relationship in data are exploratory. Statistical techniques to determine whether hypothesis about data is confirmatory, while CDA is akin to work of a judge or a jury during a trial court. So confirmatory is about statistics on existing data. Exploratory is forecasting. So this how 1,10,000 is going to be done in next year is more of exploratory. Well, how you are going to do it. Then uh, more advanced type of data analytics include data mining. Data mining is bringing data from huge set of data. Like for example, institute has database of roughly 8 lakh CS student. And then suppose institute thinks that let us see how many of students have given more than one attempt to clear any examination. So this idea of bringing that data from 8 lakh data of student is data mining. Specific trend, specific relationship like that. Okay. Predictive analysis is like forecasting, telling how it is going to go in future. Predict behavior, how customer is going to respond. That is predictive analysis. And machine learning is application from AI, artificial intelligence, that uses automatic algorithm to churn through data sets more quickly. That is predictive analysis and machine learning. Okay. So that is. Then we have a question by Sharan. Data entry is normal accountant entering data. That is data entry. So how this is looks like comes from the module data. So data entry, information, presentation, knowledge plus foresight or intuition, add to knowledge, foresight, intelligence, and add to that decision that becomes intelligent. So this is how flow of data analytics is from data till intelligent decision. Then data analytics process. So you have data collection, collect data. So the example, take the same example. What we want all students who have given more than one attempt to clear any CE exam. That is data collection. Find fixed data quality means if there is an error in the data collected, rectify it. Based on that, create an analytical model. That is how you do it. Then next is BI, business intelligence. Definition, reason, benefits, and technology. I want you to read. I am not reading. So when you apply intelligence with help of technology, then it becomes BI. So Sharon, data is raw, data is input, process, output is information. So data is in raw form. That is like your accounting entry. That is data entry. You enter accounts in, you enter vouchers in Tally. That is data entry. Based on the entries, the Tally generates balance sheet. That becomes information. So information you may call as processed data. That is how you call it. Okay. Then business intelligence is technology driven process for analyzing data and presenting actionable information. That is very important. Why BI? It tells where you stand in comparison to competitors. It tells consumer behavior, spending patterns, capability of firms, market condition, future trends, demography, economic information, social, regulatory, political environment, what other firms in market are doing. Yes, in fact, some time back, I missed the name of the magazine, but there was a report. Just understand the impact of the report. The report was that it was basically comparing our four metros, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, and Mumbai. That these are our four metros. So, how many double side refrigerators are available in these metros? That was one date. Just understand it. So four metros. So the report was how many double side two door refrigerators are in the cities, and how many people are there who are filing their tax return in excess of 10 lakh rupees income in these four metros. Just understand the two data. Okay, you tell me how you can interpret it. Let us do it as a practical exercise. I'm putting the two data. You tell me what analysis can be generated. Okay. Four metros, Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, and Chennai. The two data was the number of people who are filing tax returns in these four metros, where they are declaring their income in excess of 10 lakh. First. Second information was the number of household in these four metros who have a two-door refrigerator. You do the analysis. You write it. Let us learn. Okay. Then we'll based on this. So I've given you two data. Now you have to merge this data and bring something intelligent. Okay. Okay. So capabilities, market condition, future trends, social, regulatory, political environment, and what other firms are doing in the market. So what I expect from you to link the two data: people in four metros filing tax returns where they are declaring their income in excess of 10 lakh rupees, and household in four metros having two door refrigerators. You have to link that. Create intelligent linking of the two information. Okay. So once you answer, we'll go discuss. Benefits: improve decision making, overall performance by fast decision making, optimizing business process, enhancing communication, increasing efficiency, driving new revenue, gaining competitive advantage over business, because you will be doing a data analysis based on calculated information. BI systems can help companies identify market trends and spot business problems that need to be addressed. BI system help in enhancing customer experience, allowing for timely and appropriate response to customer problem and priorities. Because you have analyzed, you can do that. Then these are technologies, you can remember them. Ad hoc analysis, querying, enterprise reporting, online analytical OLAP, mobile business intelligence, real-time business intelligence, operational cloud and software as a service business intelligence, open source BI, collaborative, locational intelligence. So these are technologies which are used. Just remember them. I'm waiting for that answer. Okay. Then technology, lot of technology is there. It includes data visualization, flowcharting, dashboards, data mining, text mining, statistical analysis, predictive analytics. Lot of technology is built into that. Okay. Before we go to the next one, let us see your answers. Yeah, they have. Now okay. So because we want to save time, I'll tell you what information was there. So the data was like this, that say, for example, in four metros, Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, and Chennai, the people who are filing tax returns where they are having income in excess of 10 lakh. So they give a figure. Say, for example, for sake of comfort, let us take that each of the city has 5 lakh such people. 5 lakh people in each city who are filing tax return where their total income is in excess of 10 lakh. Then it was compared to the household who have two-door refrigerator. So it was like, say, only as an example, please take it as an example. Kolkata, there were 5,000 household with two-door refrigerator. Delhi, there were 10,000 household with two-door refrigerator. Mumbai, there were 25,000 household with two-door refrigerator, and Chennai, there were 15,000 household with two-door refrigerator. So just as an example, now if you do a comparative analysis, suppose I am a seller of a company which is manufacturing two-door refrigerator, which is the market where I can do more penetration based on this data, Kolkata, because the people filing tax return beyond 10 lakh is file 1 lakh, but percentage owning refrigerator in Kolkata is the least, 5,000. So that is how you compare and analyze data. It's a phenomenal way of looking at business. Yes, very good. So Pranav has put very well. Very good. Alok brought the same thing. Your answers are quite detailed, but they are correct. So, and I am not reading. Yes, Priyanka, correct. Good. So, see, you got. So, if I have data like this, it creates a decision making point for me as a company. Now, in fact, just adding to this Deepavali, it's a big season for fast moving consumer goods company, maybe refrigerator or two-wheeler or four-wheeler sellers. Lot of advertising. So I have read this in English newspaper that an English newspaper gave an advertisement like this. Just see that our readers in each of the metros, our readers. So I suppose I'm the English newspaper, I'm giving an advertisement. What is that advertisement? That these are the four metros, and our readers are those who have the maximum number of air conditioners installed in their household. Now, it is again an indicator to a marketing company that this is what you can do with data. Just understand the impact of it. Okay. Then last part for discussions, the two topics are there: business reporting, fundamentals of XBRL. Let us see. So business reporting or enterprise reporting is public reporting of operating financial data by a business enterprise, or the regular provision of information to decision maker within organization to support them in their work. So you can take, we have talked about that. I've asked you to start reading balance sheet of listed companies. They are available publicly. So all this data, financial statements are publicly available. That becomes business reporting. Then reporting is a fundamental part of larger movement towards improved business intelligence. Yes. So we accept that. Organization, yes, this has become very, very important. In fact, you must have read about this ESG reporting, environment, social governance reporting, or sustainability reporting, and bringing new things in their report. In fact, when you start reading this audited balance sheet, you will find that other than the financial statement, there is lot of non-financial discussion and data given. And it is most of that you find also as infographics. Please start reading that. It is going to add a lot of value. Then organization communicate with their stakeholders about mission, vision, objective, strategy, governance arrangement, risk management, trade-off between shorter, long-term strategies, and performance on parameters, financial, social, and environmental. It's very important. Effective, transparent business reporting. In fact, across the world, it's learning that those business which are ethical in their reporting, ethical, I mean transparent, letting everything known to the stakeholders, maybe shareholder, government, other people, they do actually good in business. So adding to quality of report is very important. High quality reports indicate better internal financial decision making. Yes. Coming to XBRL, Extensible Business Reporting Language. What it is, what it does, what is XBRL tagging, who uses it, and features. Okay. So I'll recall chart of accounts we talked about. We link this to chart of accounts, the discussion we had. So XBRL is an open international standard for digital business reporting managed by a global not-for-profit consortium, XBRL International. XBRL is used across the world, more than 50 countries. Millions of XBRL documents are created every year, replacing older paper-based reports with more useful, more effective, more accurate digital versions. Okay. So what XBRL does, it creates a standardization of reporting. Let us see what impact it has. These communications are defined by meta set out in taxonomies. Taxonomies are definitions. A technical word has come, just understand. Taxonomies are definition. In fact, it is directly linked to the chart of accounts. So it is defining the way your chart of accounts are going to be configured in system, which capture the definition of individual reporting concept as well as relationship between concept and our semantics. Semantic means logical. So this definition logically means this. That linkage is there. The change from paper, PDF and HTML to XBRL is little bit from changing from photography to digital photography. Okay, so that is you are digitizing the information. You are digitizing the communication of information so that everyone understand at same level. I don't know, Priyanka, why it is NPO. Okay. The new format allows you to do all things that is used to be possible, but also opens a new range of capabilities because the information is clearly defined. Platform is you can create XBRL from any location, any OS, any operating system, testable and digital, just like digital maps, digital business report in XBRL format, simplify the way people can use, share, analyze, add value to data. In fact, this XBRL adds lot of data analytics capability to authorities, regulators. That is why all companies are reporting in XBRL format. So that adds to quality of analysis. What it does, it creates accurate, efficient report. It allows unique tag to be associated with facts, allowing people consuming reports to do with confidence the information is accurate. So the confidence is high. Testing them to do in the best possible way, to do in a better, sophisticated, based on predefined definitions. So this is what XBRL does on your information. Adds a lot of efficiency, quality, accuracy to the whole data. Now this is important, but before I take tagging, there is a query. Yeah. Consortium. Consortium means accumulation, like our institute. ICAI is part of the consortium. So consortium is a group of people coming together. This consortium is a word you have read in your banking also, called as consortium banking, where more than one bank come together and lend to a single big borrower, like 5,000 crores have to be given to someone who is building a dam. So not individual bank comes, but 4 or 5 banks come together and give that 5,000 crores. So consortium is a group of people coming together. That is called as consortium. So within the consortium, you have something called as a leader also. But that is not part of our discussion right now. Okay. Since all consortium reports are used, so they need to be linked together. They're on the same standard. Yeah. So Sharon, XBRL in a layman language is just remember this word, standardizing the report. Okay. So say for example, let me do it. Companies expend on salary. Okay. So now someone may call it salary, someone may call it remuneration, whatever you may call. But when you convert your balance sheet in XBRL, it will appear as a salary head. So whatever expenditure you do, they will be classified as salary because that is linked to your chart of accounts that defines salary. And that is the word that we are reading about. is a process. Tagging is a process by which financial data is tagged with the most appropriate element of accounting taxonomy, that is accounting term that best represents the data to tag that facilitate identification classification. The example we have taken. Since all XBRL reports use same taxonomy, numbers associated with same element are comparable, irrespective of how they are described by those releasing the finance. So it creates a standard of reporting like that. So comprehensive definitions, an accurate data tag allow preparation, validation, publication, exchange, consumption, and analysis of business information. So the best of XBRL tagging is, I told you, it allows comparison. It allows analysis, comparative analysis between data submitted by two different companies like that. As reports based on XBRL are interchangeable, it allows for exchange of business information across a reporting chain. People that want to report information share information, publish performance information, and allow straight-through information processing, all relying on XBRL. So it allows a good comparative analysis. Who uses? Yes. Regulator, companies, government, data providers, analysts, investors, and you and me, accountants. The best use that I see is being done by regulators and government, because they can do a comparative between the way data is being submitted by companies. Then regulators include security regulators, stock exchanges. So these are all analyzing the data that is submitted. Business registrar, tax authorities, statistical and monetary policy authority, like your NSSO, National Statistical Survey Organization, that generates a national survey of the way companies are performing. These are done through this XBRL data. Companies which need to provide information, enterprise that require more information, supply chain. So these all are using XBRL data. For these purpose, companies use XBRL data. Government that are simplifying the process for business, reducing red tape, creates harmonization, creates better consolidation. It improves government's own reporting also. Data providers, specialist providers that use performance, risk information published into marketplace, create comparison, rating, and other value-added products. Analyst investors like you and me, we can be analyst investors. So you can use XBRL data, so your comparison will be good. Accountants, the last one, yes, who are involved in preparation of this data. Now, what are the key features or clear definition? No confusion. I'm not reading the paras, they are for you to read, but the core is no confusions. I told you example, salary and remuneration. In tagging of XBRL, they will appear at the same location. Testable business rules, very important. It ensures poor quality information is not there. It ensures poor quality information you cannot send, nor regulator can accept. It ensures highlighting. There's a validation process. Those of you who will be doing in your office, there's a validation process for XBRL submissions. Create ratio segregation because standardization is there. Multilingual, you can do it in multiple languages. And it has a very, very strong software support built into it. Last part, applicable regulatory framework. So everything that we are doing has to be in conformance with law. It can be general or specific. Regulatory compliance and accounting systems are closely interrelated. There may be two approaches to have compliance. You can have using same software for accounting and tax compliance, and using different software for accounting and tax compliance. Now, what exactly is... Yes, Sharon, yes. What exactly it means that, like chartered accountants in practice, so you use Tally for accounting and a taxation software for tax compliance of your client. If I'm a company, I will not buy two softwares. I'll generally buy a single software that will do accounting also and tax compliance. So when you talk of compliance, you have to see which type of software you are using, whether it's a singular software for accounting and taxation or whether it's a different software. What difference it makes is the next slide. So if you use a singular software for accounting and tax, and if you use a specific software for tax compliance, like most of the chartered accountants who do tax practice have a separate taxation software. So when you use a dedicated taxation software for compliance, the ease of operation is more because options are more. The features and facilities are more. Time and effort required is more because you have to configure. Accuracy, because see, in a accounting and taxation software, when you're doing together, your accounting data is picked by taxation. So chance of wrong data pick is not there. So accuracy will be higher like that. The risk in using a pure taxation software is because in a pure taxation software, accounting data will have to be fed. So whenever a system change is there from one system to another system, you go, chance of error increase. So accuracy will go down. And because accounting and tax software is 2-in-1, cost will be more like that. That is for today. So we'll just give 30 seconds for any questions you have. Okay. So Sharon, definitions, yes. Add examples to add quality to definitions. Okay. So I answered all the questions. Just 30 seconds more, then we'll call it a day. Yeah, if no more question comes. Here's a question. Let me read. What is a pattern of paper? Okay, so that is you have. What are internal customers? Dhanish, yes, good. So I thought, okay, what we'll do. So Dhanish has put what are internal customers. So internal customers are like this example I took about starch. Oh, sorry, maize. Makka se maize you make dextrose monohydrous, then dextrose anhydrous, then intravenous fluid. So each department is internal customer. Dhanish. So captive consumption, department A, that is processing maize to DMH. Department B, processing DH. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. So department A, that is processing DMH. When it sends to department B, that is processing DH. So that becomes internal. So department B becomes internal customer to department A. That is how you link it. That is. Then every software is a singular software. Yeah. So yes, so a software may have capability of tax compliance also. Yes, next session you can ask Priyanka. Okay. So let us call it. Bye. Thank you. So I think I have answered all the queries. Last question. Okay, Kujema will do in next session. Yeah. How XBRL looks. I'll show you next time. Thank you. So we are closing. Bye. Good night.